Hey guys, Tom from Make Surf Centre here, just heading off down to the beach to make a little video on how to set up your kitesurf kite. Fairly straightforward thing to do for an experienced kite surfer, but if you're new to the sport, you might just have come out of some lessons and you're not sure, this video will hopefully help you just to refresh the correct way to set up your kitesurf kite. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so first things first, I want to get this kite laying out. I've got my back to the wind, I let it flap out downwind. Once I'm finished, I'm just going to secure this with a little bit of sand on the upwind edge. So now I'm going to grab my pump, get the pump leash, connect that to the leash attachment point, and now I want to get any sand away from the valve to avoid it going into the leading edge. I'm going to tighten up the bottom valve so it's finger tight, open up the top, and then I'm attaching the pump. So it's really important you get the right pressure in this kite. This one, for example, is around 8 psi, but I'm going to show you how to check that without a gauge. It's really important because it affects the performance of your kite. Okay, so 3 checks to see if the pressure's right. I get my thumb and my forefinger. I'm going to give that kite a squeeze. If it feels squeezy, I'm going to keep on pumping. The next one is a flick, flick, flick. Should get like a drum rebound. The next one, I want to get the kite and bend it over. If it easily bends in the middle, there's not enough air in there. So we go back to the pump and we're going to start again. After a few more pumps, we can check that again, and this time I'm happy with that pressure. It doesn't bend so easy in the middle, so we can take the pump off, shut the valve, and then the next job we're going to do is disconnect the pump. Now we're going to check all these hose clips. We've got to shut those down. Super important that you remember to do this. 1, 2, 3. Once all those valves are shut, we can turn the kite over onto its leading edge. Once it's over, I've got to check that the kite's in the right position. I want to make sure the wind is directly hitting that center strut. Then we can safely put sand on top and go for our lines. Super important that we check our bridles. You see here, that's running from the edge, but this is something that can commonly happen. The line can go through the deflector and sit wrong. So we've got to make sure, same thing when I go underneath here, I got to pull my bridle through. Just check there's no twists or tangles on here. It just takes a few seconds, but it's vital, because if you don't look at this, sometimes you can set your kite up like that, and if you get to the point of flying the kite, obviously that's quite dangerous. So just take the extra time, check your bridles before you go for your lines. Then once we've checked those, we can say kite is finished, we get our bar, and then we're ready to do our bar and lines. So we always run our lines downwind from behind the kite. We just find it's the safest way to do this and the easiest. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get all 4 lines off, leave them in the sand, and then walk these lines back, slowly unraveling them as we go. Making sure you're directly behind the kite. So we're going to make sure here that we got the bar the right around, because we're behind the kite. The red side of the bar will actually be on the right when we line these down, because we're behind it and upside down. So I put the bar down on the ground. I'm going to get the 2 outside lines with the 2 center lines between my legs, and I'm walking up these, just letting them fall apart. There shouldn't be any twists or tangles in here until I get to the kite. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get these lines and I'm going to put them right outside the kite, a couple of meters outside the wingtips. The reason I do this is that it gives us plenty of space when we do the center line, so we can look down clean and see there's no twists or tangles. And now, once those are secured on the beach, I'm now going to go back and I'm just going to unravel my center line. Just see now, when I look back, there was no possibility at all of getting lines twisted or tangled like this. Okay, now for a simple setup of the lines here. What we've got are loops and knots. You'll notice here, a loop and a knot, a red and a red. If you go here, we've got a loop and a loop, so they can't connect. So what we're going to do to connect the loops to the knots, we're going to use what's called a lark's head knot. So I'm just going to push this loop through itself and put it over the top of the knot. Making sure as I pull it through, once it's over the knot, I pull that nice and tight. And then continue over. Always work from one side to the other. Again, stops any chance of twists or tangles in the lines. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're ready to go and fly our kite.